Hey watchaholics, welcome back to the channel, guys. Oh my god, so today we're going to be doing something really fun, something very different for this channel. We are going to be doing a reaction slash thoughts to what the internet is saying about Bridgerton season 3, specifically the carriage scene. As we all know, it has now been a bit over a week, and we are all heavily obsessed with this season so far. We are heavily obsessed with the carriage scene, the big pollen scene, the big moment that everyone had been talking about and been waiting for. Finally came to fruition, and it has blown the internet up to the point that it like broke its own series record. It's a whole thing. So I thought it'd be super fun to like just let's go online together. We're gonna be going to X, I guess I would say. And then we're also going to be doing the Threads app on Instagram, which, by the way, I have found some hilarious ones on there that I just crack up literally before bed. I like read everything and I just crack up. So let's have some fun together and read through some of these tweets. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be giving you obviously like my thoughts about what I'm thinking about what they're saying, and obviously that might go into my thoughts about a specific scene or specific thoughts about what they're saying, which will obviously delve into the whole part one. Which, by the way, I will be still doing a video for next week where I will be dropping my thoughts of season 1, breakdowns of some scenes that I really want to talk about, and just in general about it. So let's get straight into this. I just watched the last episode of Bridgerton, the carriage scene. Who the hell needs Pornhub when you have that? What a great way to start. I mean, granted, it's a very
Oh my God!
not wrong, but it's, I mean, literally, I don't know what that scene has over people, but it's wow. That carriage scene in Bridgerton is absolute filth. Yes, you are not wrong. It is absolute filth. And the fact that we keep watching it is astonishing to the world. It's astonishing. Watching the first kiss and the carriage scene are not my bedtime routine. Is that anybody else's? How many times have you guys seen the first kiss and the carriage scene since its debut a little bit over a week ago? Let me know in a comment below. It's okay. Don't be embarrassed, because I can say probably like at least 25 times. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 20, I don't know. But I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't my bedtime routine, but it sure was my morning routine. Literally, I think like 2 days later, I think I would wake up and like I would rewatch all of their scenes, and then I would rewatch the whole final scene like at least 4 times. Like every morning for like 2 days. Not every morning for 2 days, but like for 2 days, I would just watch that.
You what?
I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed. It's unhealthy, but I'm not ashamed. Okay, someone wrote, this is a little bit different. Someone wrote, I need more episodes to remove the memory of that cringe-worthy carriage scene. Stat. Poor Penelope. She finally has the man of her dreams, and that's how he professes his love. Ugh, it was foolish to break up Bridgerton's season in that way. It only angers and disappoints fans. Oh, okay, so this is a different take. This is a negative take on the carriage scene. Did anyone else find it cringy? Because I didn't. I mean, the moment he ran up to that carriage and was like, wait, he's like, let me in, and he's like exhausted. It was so fucking perfect. It was literally out of a romantic comedy. It was perfection. Just that scene alone, I was like, okay, shit's about to go down. Shit is about to go down. I didn't find it cringy at all, but this isn't the first thing I've read where people have said that they thought that this scene was cringy. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. Let me know in a comment below. I think I've had actually some people in my other videos talk about like that they felt like it might have been a little bit cringy, but unfortunately, I am not in that boat. I was living for the declarations. I was living for the I want to be more than friends, so much more. The intensity was amazing. Ooh, how about this one? They should not have picked Give Me Everything Orchestra for the carriage scene if they wanted me to pay attention. I was doing an interpretive dance in my bedroom the whole time. What a vibe. That's funny. That is funny. I was doing an interpretive dance in my bedroom the whole time. Well, literally, like I went on Spotify. I don't know if you guys have done it. So if you go on Spotify, I have gone and I like listen to the songs, and I'm just like, I'm literally in my kitchen being like, give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight. Oh my, it is hilarious. If you could see me in my kitchen, you would be embarrassed. You would be embarrassed for me. Ooh, the Bridgerton carriage scene actually just made some things about the anti-sex scene discourse make sense to me. It's about the lack of intimacy coordinators on set. Studios try to cut costs and unchoreographed intimacy scenes feel forced and unnecessary and meaningless. I can't tell if this person's like that they felt that it was unnecessary or if they're saying like how important it is to have one because it looked so good. Interesting. So I know intimacy coordinators are a very big thing nowadays. I know with Bridgerton season 1, they really dived into that and how important it was for the actors to have. I have to say I do agree. Now, it is interesting. I know Nicola, I'm pretty sure you've seen this interview, but Nicola has talked about how it was like filming these like scenes and how like, yeah, they have an intimacy coordinator, but they're not choreographed. Like, hey, you have to put your hand here for 5 seconds and then you move on here. It's pretty much like free range to kind of do what feels good in the moment. Like, yeah, there are certain beats in the scene that they have to hit, but it's not necessarily choreographed. It's not like, we put your hand here, then you put your hand here. And I will say, I think I could really feel that in this scene. Just watching them, it didn't look choreographed. It did look very much like they were feeling the moment. And it's weird to say because, yeah, they're just actors. Like, this isn't real. And it's weird to be like, oh, yeah, well, we were feeling it, so we decided to go all the way. Like it's an interesting take, I guess, or thing to think about. But I do have to agree that it is very important for people to have intimacy coordinators to really kind of explain the beats of the scene, probably make you feel a little bit more comfortable about like how would you approach this as an actor, doing very intimate scenes, because that's a very vulnerable thing. I could talk about that forever, about how vulnerable it is to be naked on screen for, number one, the world to see, and also in the moment you are, there's people around and it's kind of awkward, and it's, you have a co-star and you might be really good friends with them or you might have met them the day before. So, I feel having an intimacy coordinator is very, very important for those reasons, for absolutely. Gotta say though, these two literally smashed it out of the park, literally. I have watched episode 4 of Bridgerton so many times, and no, not because of the carriage scene. It's because I've never felt so connected to a character like I do Penelope. One day I hope to find my Colin. In a world of Kardashians, be a Penelope. Oh, my heart. That is something that I know a lot of people have been saying. A lot of people have felt really related, like feel very relatable to the season with the whole friends to lovers, because we've all been there, whether you've been on one side or the other, where it's, you really liked someone and you just don't feel confident enough to say something, or you don't know if they might ever like you back. And yeah, just like Violet's mom says in that episode, it is rare for that other person to like you back, but imagine like they did, right? You would be Penelope. You would be that person that's like, my God, I've pined for this guy. I've loved this guy in secret for so long. And then we finally get together. Like, wait, what? Like, what? So I do really agree that this season, I think, is the most relatable to like reality, I guess. You don't really get a lot of, obviously, enemies to lovers is a trope that is not really a big real reality one, or the fake dating thing. Like, none of that is really reality. I think the friends to lovers is definitely the most real, because that can happen for sure. Oh, this is funny. I'm not saying I know the carriage scene by heart, but I know the carriage scene by heart. I think most of us do. I think most of us know the beat of that. I can play the music and I can already like replay exactly how the scene goes. And it's so true. We all know it by now. Like, we can literally close our eyes and envision the scene. Like, we're like, okay, right now, yep, he's telling her this. Okay, oh my God, all right, now she's gonna say this. Oh my God, okay, they're kissing. Okay, now they're not kissing. Okay, now she's got her hand in his hair and he is having that crazy, look that has really blown up the internet, the like, I'm possessed look. And then he kisses her. And then we got another beat where she gets spicy. I cannot wait to talk about this in my other video. I have so much to say about pollen. So much to say. And I cannot wait to discuss it in another video. I cannot wait. Like literally, I could talk about it now, but that's not this video. So make sure you're subscribed. Yeah. So you can see my next video where I'm going to break down all that stuff, right? As expected, Shonda sure loves drama because why did she change the order and make the carriage scene happen before Colin finding out Penn is Lady Whistledown? Like we already made the girls fight, LMAO. It's true. She does love the drama. That is true. That is true. And I did hear about how people, or how in the books he finds out that she's Lady Whistledown before, and then they have a fight in the carriage, and then it leads to like shit going down, right? So it is interesting that they decided to not do that, because now it clearly changes. I'm going to assume it really changes the trajectory of even the book, like how it's written in the book. I'm pretty sure it really kind of changes that. So I guess we shall see. Oh, this is funny. How many hit tweets of the pollen carriage scene in Bridgerton have you bookmarked?
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
If the carriage scene had me losing my mind the way it has been, the mirror scene is going to send me to another planet. Y'all, this mirror scene. I've never read the book, but I did read a line from the book. Now, I don't know if they are going to, straight up just boom, boom, book to screen. Like, I don't know if that's what they're doing, but goddamn, if they are, I'm not gonna lie. If they are, this second part is going to be very, very steamy compared to, well, definitely compared to season 2. I mean, season 2 barely had any kind of steamy stuff like that. Season 1 was pretty steamy with some of the things that were said, but I think this is something that has been a little bit hard for me to kind of wrap my head around, and I've come around because I have seen this scene, but I'm reading what Colin is like in this 3rd season, right, and the things that he says to Penelope and how he is clearly very, very what's the word? Clearly very experienced at this point, and some things that I have read, like I'm just like I can't imagine. Like this Colin, like the Colin that we have grown to see on our screen from season 1 to season 3, like I can't imagine that face delivering those lines. Like I don't know if I'm ready for that, because I still kind of in my mind still see like little Colin from like the 1st season that was like very like innocent and like, oh, like I'm gonna marry this girl because I really like her, like, and then all of a sudden in season 3, we're like, all of a sudden we are like a man and we are experienced and we are finger popping people in carriages. And I'm just like, wait, like my mind, it took me a while to kind of gather what I was seeing. And then when I'm reading like stuff from that mirror scene or just some other kind of like vocabulary that is used throughout the book, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be steamy. Am I going to be able to like look at Colin and be like, yeah, you are the one I can imagine saying that? Because like Anthony Bridgerton, aka Jonathan Bailey, like I can imagine him saying the lines that he said, but I think it's just because we've seen Colin like come season 1 kind of be very like have a very childlike face, very innocent, that all of a sudden in season 3 I'm like, wait, what's happening? Shit. How many years has it been? I feel like it should be 10, but it's what, maybe like been two years maybe, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. So yeah, that was a really long-winded way of me saying that I'm very nervous for this mirror scene. I'm very nervous. Oh God, I'm really nervous. I'm just like, oh God, is it going to be like really good, or am I going to be like, look away kind of situation, right? Ooh, this is good. One thing I really love about the carriage scene is that they are both clothed, but it's somehow still one of the best sexy scenes to come out of Bridgerton. Agreed. They are both fully clothed. You don't even think about it. Like, yeah, you see a little bit of shoulder. He kind of like puts down her dress a little bit. But they are like very much Nothing's come off, and yet somehow it is extremely sexy. Like, so well done. It is it is so well done. And I like, it's weird, like I said before, because it's Colin and Penelope, who we have seen from season one, where Penelope had this like really high pitched like I love Colin voice, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, Colin, like, yeah. It's like really weird. But we just have to accept that this is where the characters are now, that they have grown. We have to just accept that, right? But I do agree with this. I agree completely. This is one of the best sexy scenes, and no clothes have even come out. No clothes, nothing. It's just two people just extremely passionate in that moment. Lots of sexual tension, really have been wanting this for a while kind of thing. I mean, Penelope's been wanting this for like her whole life, basically. Colin's been wanting this for a couple weeks. And it is just like so sexy. It's so well done. I don't know what they did, but god damn it, they're so good. It's so good. It is so good. Ooh. Oh, okay. So okay, this is good. The original events in that carriage that led to Colin proposing to Penn would have ate really hard. Crying face emoji. Ugh. Nicola and Luke would have executed that scene perfectly in the TV adaptation. Lots of crying. I feel like I've been robbed. And then they put the book thing, which is, "You're coming in as well?" she asked. He looked at her as if she'd suddenly gone draft. Of course. She didn't move too perplexed by his actions to give her legs the orders to step down. There was certainly no reason he had to accompany her inside. Propriety didn't really demand it. And, "For God's sake, Penelope," he said, grabbing her hand and yanking her down, "are you going to marry me or not?" Oh. Okay, so it seems like in the book they were going to her. "You're coming in as well?" she asked. He looked at her as if she said something. So I guess they were going to her house? That's what it seems like. In the book, she was going to her house. But I will say, for God's sake, Penelope, are you going to marry me or not? Oh, Colin really, Luke Newton really delivered that line preciously. Very, very good. Very, very good. Interesting. See, very different. Very different. So I don't know. This second half of the season is going to be mind-blowing, especially for people, I think, who have read the book, because at this point they're like, okay, well, this is different. Like, they obviously make, maybe him finding out will be translated exactly the same, or maybe it'll be completely different. I don't know. Actually, if you're a book reader, let me know. Would you rather it kind of be exactly the same, or would you prefer if it was a little bit different? Let me know in a comment. Okay, someone wrote, "It still didn't top 'You are the bane of my existence.' Okay, sure, keep this. Sure. Okay, sure, because this is better than hearing feelings like dreaming of you when I'm asleep, and in fact preferring sleep because that is where I might find you, right? Sure, Jan. It still didn't top. You're the bane. Okay, sure. Sure, because this is better than hearing feelings like dreaming of you when I'm asleep, and in fact preferring sleep because that is where I might find you, right? Sure, Jan." Ooh, okay. We're talking about declarations here. Oh, guys, this one would definitely cause a stir, because what do you guys think? Is "You are the bane of my existence" speech better than this one or not? Ooh, "You are the bane of my existence. You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires. Every night I dream of you." That's hard. And then he says, "Feelings of dreaming of you when I'm asleep, and in fact preferring sleep because that is where I might find you." Ooh, Collins is really good though. But it's hard to compare because they're two very different scenes. They're two very deep declarations, because Colin is very much saying like, "Hey, it's it's much more of a love declaration than I think bane of my existence is, because yeah, bane of my existence, he's literally telling her like, "Hey, like, I am like, you're driving me insane. Like, I want to be with you really bad, but we can't." But also it's a little bit different, I guess, because of the outcome, because Anthony's just like, "We cannot be together. Like, I can't be with you," all this stuff. But with Colin, it's much more of being like, it's much more of a love declaration, because he's very much being like, I like you. I really like you. I want to be with you. Like, these are the reasons why you can't marry this guy. So it's really hard to compare them because the scenes are so different, and they are both declarations, but I don't find the bane of my existence to be. Oh my god, I don't. And now I'm not sure. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, shit. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Is it the same kind of scene or is it not? Because they both come like halfway through the season where they're both admitting to the feelings that they do have for the other person. Obviously, for Colin, he ends up proposing at the end of the scene, so they're moving on. But from what I hear, there seems to be that there's another love declaration that he gives to Penelope, just how Anthony has his actual love declaration at the end, which still just, oh my god, brings me to tears, makes me so happy when he finally tells her that he loves her. It is absolutely precious. Anthony, Jonathan Bailey, the god that you are, amazing. Now I know Colin supposedly has one, but I still don't know if it's going to top it. Somebody in my comments actually at one point had said, oh, if you love that one, like you're not ready for Colin's, like Colin's is the best. So I guess we shall see. But to compare the bane of my existence to the feelings like dreaming of you when I'm asleep and in fact preferring sleep because that's where I might find you, let me know. What do you guys think? Can you compare? Yes or no? I don't know. This is good. The more people start pointing out new facts or details about the carriage scene, the more I believe that Colin Bridgerton, also Luke Newton, is the best male human being ever to exist. Oh, God. Okay, because this person was commenting to somebody else's thing, which said, I just noticed that Colin stops in front of her waiting for her to kiss him because he probably couldn't believe this was happening after so many weeks of dreaming of her, and he also wanted her to be the one to open herself to him. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I get, man, people dissect scenes so good. That is so true. I guess I never thought about that. I guess she's the one who really they both go for it, but she like really goes for it. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good one. Stop with this one. The insane reaction to the Bridgerton carriage scene is sending me when it's just the Regency equivalent of a 19-year-old getting fingered in the back of an Uber after a party. I mean, that person's not wrong. Oh my god, that's so funny. That is a good one. Oh, that's a good one. That is good. Oh my god. Oh, this one. Friend, how many times have you watched Bridgerton Part 1? Me, only 2 times today. Friend, what about the carriage scene? Me, the limit does not exist. You are not wrong. The limit does not exist. Do not. Yes, season 1 and Queen Charlotte are my favorites. I hated season 2. The carriage scene in season 3 is my favorite so far. Sorry, I disagree with this person. I don't hate any of the seasons, but for me, as of right now, it would be. Oh shit! Actually, no, I can't say it because I haven't seen the whole series as a whole. So we're not gonna rate it yet. But so far, season 2 has always been my favorite. Like my previous rating before this season would have been season 2, Queen Charlotte, season 1. So now I need to figure out if season 3 is going to be the best, or is it going to be before or after Queen Charlotte? That's kind of how I see this. The fact that Colin waits for Penelope's consent is making this carriage scene even hotter. Damn. I mean, that's a big topic of conversation, y'all. That's a big topic of conversation. The fact that Colin, that whole consent situation. I mean, I think that definitely added to it being even like kind of sexier because at this point, you know for a fact that Penelope, I don't even know if Penelope even know what the fuck was going to happen. Okay. Like in my mind, like I had mentioned, like I had said in my video, which by the way, if you haven't seen my reaction to episode 4, please go and watch that. But like one thing I said in that video was I'm like, damn, like this girl in a matter of weeks has had her first kiss, her first makeout. she just got some stuff done to her in the back of a car. Now, who knows? Probably in the next week, she's gonna go and have like full on sex, right? Like so much is gonna about to go down, right? But in that moment, she kind of gives this man like consent, like yes, you can put your hands in some other areas of my body, right? But in my mind, I'm also thinking, I'm like, does she even know what like is about to transpire? Because if I had no idea anything about how you even have sex with someone, like anything about that, like how would you know that like I mean, like she reads a lot of books about love, so maybe that's why like she's like created in her mind, like maybe in these like romance novels that she's reading, like it talks about like sexual things, and maybe that's why she knows. Because honestly, I would have been like, what are you doing? Like I'm like, what? Oh, your hand. That's great. It feels great. But I wouldn't know what was about to transpire if I was like a 19-year-old in this century where people had no idea about how you even made a baby, right? So I find that very interesting. But obviously, we love it. We love to see it. We love the moment. It's something that's very important to be shown on screen, obviously, for many, many, many reasons. And yes, it did make the scene sexier, absolutely, because it was just like you could just feel the tension in that carriage that shit was about to go down. I just realized what my fingers were doing, but shit was about to go down, and yeah, when you remember that the carriage scene is only the beginning. That is true. It's only episode 4. Like that is literally episode. We have 4 more episodes of shit to go down. Remember when Daphne and the Duke got together in season 1? I think they got together around this time, like when they were, and then I think the whole Burn for You, I think was like episode 5, I want to say. I think. And then all of a sudden it was just like you had like one episode that was like literally full on just like we're gonna have sex everywhere in this house kind of situation, right? So I do wonder how, man, I have so many questions about how the next episode will progress, right? Because you just had these two people who did something very inappropriate, by the way. If they were caught, they would automatically have to get married, right? But he's gonna bring her to the house and be like, hey, we're engaged. But like, does that mean that you like can go now to your room and like, is that what that like? Because in the other seasons, it's either been they did it like kind of like after they got married, so it was like, okay, well they're married, so that's allowed. But with this, it's like I don't really know what happens when you're engaged. Like when you're engaged, can you engage in the sexual act, or do you have to like get married first, kind of thing, right? So I don't know. I don't know. So the fact that they're saying the carriage scene is only in the beginning, yeah, absolutely. Like we know there's going to be like a full on sex scene. We're probably gonna be seeing Nicola's boobs. There's gonna be a whole bunch of that. We know. I know. We're probably gonna see Luke Newton's butt. Like I know all this is about to go down. But I wonder like what will be the context other than the whole thing. Like yeah, there's a mirror and all this stuff, but like what's gonna be the context? How do we get there, kind of thing. And also, I wonder what song they're gonna play. Ooh, I get so excited because they always play some good music. Remember that scene? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Season 1 with Wildest Dreams. Oh, with my girl T Swift. Yeah, Wildest Dreams in the rain. Oh, it was hot. That was good. That was a good one. Are we ready to talk about how intimate that carriage scene is yet? And the amount of us that were literally hiding behind our hands or pillow because it felt too intimate to be watching on a show where we usually want to watch the spicy stuff. Oh yeah, but there's no chemistry between Colin and Penelope. That is so true. That scene is very intimate. I will say, I think it is the most intimate. As weird as it sounds, because yeah, season 2's scene where they do some stuff in the garden, very intimate. That was intimate. But like something about being in a carriage makes it even more intimate because it's just like the small little space. You're not like in a bed in a regular space. You're not like in this open wide field. You're like in a very enclosed space. And I think that's what also sells it as a very intimate scene is the fact that it is so like such a small space. You have two people who have this crazy sexual tension going on like at this point. like it's obviously revved up because we all know at the beginning of that scene, Penelope had no idea what was going to transpire. That's my favorite word to say. She had no idea what was going to transpire in that moment when Colin came up to the carriage, right? But she has loved this man for so long that obviously she's always wanted this. She's always wanted to put her hand in his hair. She's always wanted to kiss him. She's always wanted to feel this. And yeah, at this point, they have already kissed, but she just thinks like, yeah, he kissed me because he had to, not because, not, oh shit, now he has feelings for me kind of thing, right? But I will say, like, me when I watch the scene, I am very much like, oh my god, like I'm looking away, but I'm also like, oh my god, but then I'm like looking away, but then I'm like, oh my god, that's hot. It is, and I think that is why it is such a sexy, intimate scene. Because I remember when Daphne and the Duke were doing their stuff, I was kind of just like, oh god, is it over yet? Like I want it to be over. I need this to be over. With Anthony and Kate, it was a little bit better. I was kind of just like, okay, kind of thing. But this one just felt revved up, and I think it's because of the stages of that scene. Again, I could talk about this forever, but the stages in that scene were so well crafted, and I think that's why that by the time it gets to that like that big crescendo of the final step, you have a kiss, then you have like a make out, and then you have a third base kind of situation, right? So it's very like intimate and spicy and sexy but romantic, and you're like, oh my god, like it's all of these things, like I can't look away. So I think this is very true. And also the fact that people were like, no chemistry between Colin and Penelope. I will gladly stand here every day and say that I was very worried at the beginning. I was worried for this season. If you watched my initial thoughts to the trailer that we got, I wasn't really sold. I was kind of like, I don't even know if I feel about Colin. I don't know how I'm going to feel about them together, like being sexy. I will gladly say that I was very much surprised, very happy with what I have been giving, and I cannot wait to see them continue to progress their relationship on this season. I absolutely love them. They're so good. That scene was so good, it convinced me. I was like, all right, flipping the switch. We're green. We are green. Before we were kind of yellow. We're green. We green all the way. And I think they did, like, their chemistry is off the charts in that scene. I think it is flying off the handle. Flying off the handle. Happy. I hope you're happy too. Did Colin go to wash his hands after the carriage scene, or he went to shake everyone's hands? This has been a really good one. This has been a big topic. I've seen a lot of TikToks. I've seen a lot of memes about it, and it is hilarious about the whole finger situation with the moving of the dress and all that stuff. Like, it is hilarious because people are like, I hope he washes his hands before he introduces his speech. It's so funny. It is so damn funny. Oh my god. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be like watching this because they're going to be like, did he wash his hands? Oh my god, you're shaking his hand. Did you know what just happened in the carriage? Everyone is going to be dissecting this next scene. Literally dissecting it. Luke Newton, what a detail. What a detail, you young man. You, sir, what an actor. That was a detail that, the fact that somebody even pointed that out, because I didn't even notice it at first. The fact that Nicola didn't know either it's perfection. Luke Newton, I gotta give you brownie points for that. I have to give you brownie points for how hilarious that is. How you really thought, like, okay, so in the moment, this is what I was doing. This is what I did. How am I gonna use that? And I was like, okay, get out, sir, get out. Okay, let's sit with this person for a little bit more. Okay, that carriage scene, woo-wee, felt like I was intruding on a personal moment. Correct. Lord Debling deserves everything and more. He was so kind, but my girl Penelope deserves love, not just to exist. True. Lady Featherington has intrigued me. I want a backstory on her and the first time she fell in love and got her heart broken. Ooh! That is true because clearly Lady Featherington is very bitter about love. Like, has she never fallen in love with somebody? Clearly, she didn't love her husband. It was just like, we're going to have kids and that's it kind of thing, right? And And I'm also interested in seeing if this season, like, she'll have a nicer arc, because she's always just been a bitch to her kids, right? She had that one moment at the end of season 2 where she's like, I'm a mother, and those girls, they're difficult, but they're mine. You know, like, that was like her, like, you know, I do love my daughters, even though I treat them like shit kind of thing, but she is still like, bleh. So you never know. That would be fun. That would be fun. A backstory on her and the first time she fell in love and got her heart broke. Ooh, yes. You know what's romantic? Security. What a bar. That's true. I mean, ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. Cressida having terrible parents is very on brand for Mean Girl, but I see some character development shining through. I see it in some points, and I don't. And I saw it in the like. I see that they were kind of getting. They were kind of turning to give her a little bit of a redemption arc or some sort of redemption quality when that whole scene with Eloise, where Eloise is like, "Oh, why'd you spread why'd you spread like that gossips from my secret that I told you?" And she was like, "It wasn't me." Like, if you basically said like, you should look at yourself because you're the one who started this and not to me. That was the first time in the all 4 episodes that I actually genuinely felt like there was some sort of redemption with her character. But other than that, she was still kind of bitchy. Like, she had a moment where she was like, oh, you know, women, we pit each other against each other. But then I'm like, okay, but then why are you still such a bitch to Penelope? Like, or why are you still so mean? And like, whenever she talks to Lord Debling, it's like she's putting on this act, and like, I just want her to be herself, and I feel like she hasn't gotten there yet. And to me, I would feel so much better if she just like is herself, like her actual self. I feel like this person that Cressida goes around pretending to be is not her, and that's why I still haven't connected with her completely. I do see that it's possible, but I hope that this next part really kind of showcases much more of who she actually is, because I feel like this person, she's like, oh, I'll dance with you, is not really Cressida. Like, I want her to just like fart. You know, like, I just want her to do something that is like unlike her, to the point that we get to see the real her instead of this like mean girl persona that she's been putting on or being, right? Oh, let's talk about this one. Jonathan Bailey has gone on the thrive, and in my humble opinion, has much more successful acting career than Reggae John Page so far, and he still came back for Bridgerton season 3. Ooh, that is, guys, that has been a popular topic this season. Oh my God, so many people have talked about the fact that they're like, so, you know, Ray J couldn't come back for season 2, but yet Anthony Bridgerton, aka Jonathan Bailey, has had a hell of a year. He has been in so much stuff, and yet he still did Bridgerton season 3. I was like, not wrong, not wrong. Now, I don't know if he's going to be in season 4. I feel like he might not be able to be in season 4. I know they're going to be supposedly starting to film that soon. And I know that he's also going to be the lead in the new Jurassic Park movie. So he's probably going to be very, very busy. But who knows? Maybe if he's in it, then he's definitely, if he is able to do season 4, even a little bit, that clearly states that Reggae really just didn't want to do Bridgerton at all. Like, he was like, I'm over this. I want to do other things. But like, damn, that sucks to see. Like, it's like this guy was able to come back for his next season. Like, oh, it looks bad on him. And he's had a much more busy career since Bridgerton. So it's kind of like, oh, damn kind of thing, right? Bridgerton season 3 confirms Reggae John Page's Simon is no longer needed for the series. I didn't think about him one time while watching. You? Yeah, that's true. But I also didn't really care about seeing him in season 2. It's not that I didn't like. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. He's just not my favorite actor. I hate to say it. Like, I was like, he was fine for season 1, but he just wasn't. He wasn't it for me. Sorry, I'm saying it. I'm sorry. Anyone else here jealous by Nick Jonas playing in the background while Penelope tells Colin that Lord Remington's going to call on her in Bridgerton season 3, episode 2? No, just me. Okay. No, I heard it. Somebody else wrote about it in my comment saying like, oh, did you hear that they put jealous? Yes, they did. And they did not play it long enough. I felt very, very shorthanded on that one. I was like, wait a minute, you're gonna play Nick Jonas's mega hit Jealous and you're gonna play it in the background for like 10 seconds? No, I needed like a whole fucking dance. I wanted a whole dance, literally, of Penelope, or a whole section of Penelope talking or dancing with other guys or doing something else while that was playing, and then having Colin watch her. And then you have Jealous playing. That is what I would have wanted. And I did not get it. I'm so passionate about it because I'm so pissed. I was like, wait, that's Jealous. Wait, it's over? What? It's over? I was pissed. I was pissed. Bridgerton season 3 thoughts on Colin. Yes, Colin is a fuckboy this season. Yes, Lord Devlin was miscast. Oh, the actor is entirely too charming and handsome to be playing second fiddle to this immature brat. Jesus Christ. However, Colin became a fuckboy out of response to trauma and heartbreak. The woman he loved and wanted to marry was using him and playing him for a fool. It nearly destroyed his family and him. He wore his heart on his sleeve and got burned to the core. Fuckboy era is him rebounding. Ooh, I agree. I think this persona that he does put up is definitely a persona, especially after, I think it's episode 3, when he tells, is it episode 3? I forget which one, if it's episode 3 or 4. It might be 4, actually. When he tells those guys at the bar, like, hey, don't you, like, why do we have to remain cavalier about one of the most important, genuine things in life? It does not get lonely. And I'm like, yeah, because you've been acting like, yeah, I'm great. I love all these women. Everything's great. But in deep side, just like Violet calls him out, you are a very sensitive guy. You care about other people. Like, he is not meant to be a fuckboy. And they're trying to make him one because it's like, oh, well, we have to make him like rakish, right? But he ain't. Colin's no rake. He is no rake whatsoever. And it's definitely, I do agree that he kind of was just like, oh, well, I should just like forget about women because like I tried with the one girl and then she effed me over kind of thing, right? And then he, I think, repressed that and was like, you know what, I'm going to go see the world and I'm going to go get myself some experience and just not deal with falling in love with someone. That's what I was getting at. But obviously we all know one kiss from Penn and he's just like, oh yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want one girl and one girl only. That is it. No more threesomes for me kind of thing, right? Anyway, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed doing that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's very different for this channel, but I just felt compelled to do it, and I had so much fun doing with this. So guys, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button. And of course, if you haven't seen my Bridgerton reactions for this season, highly recommend you check out this playlist right over here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!